All right, so basically, right now I'm just gonna go over the basics of getting a drawing down. This is, yeah, I'm not gonna go in depth in this one. That'll be the next one. But right now, I just want to kind of give a quick, rough start, just to get something down. If you're doing digital, it's a lot easier to draw, in my opinion, because you don't have to worry about making as many mistakes. And what I mean by that is, for instance, if you like put the line down like that, and if it was pencil and you did it that dark, or on traditional paper, you couldn't go back over it. But with digital, you can just hit the eraser and erase it, or undo and just take the line away. And so I'm not gonna really be going over that much of that. So basically, what I'm gonna do is just go over getting the person set up. So basically, just I don't have like an idea or anything. Just a basic pose of someone standing. So they'll have their head, um, and you can fix on that later, and the neck, and then say it's about four heads, um, from the top of the head to the torso. So then three head lengths. That'd be one, two, three, and then that's where they would split. And so basically just work from that. And the arm will be about halfway in between that, and then it will end around here. And I'm seeing now that I made it kind of crooked, but that's all right since it's digital. Um, you know, but this is just a very static, basic image. So it's not really much going into this, but basically, if he was going to be buff, it would come out here. If he wasn't, you like if he was going to have wings, as they call it, and then if not, it just comes closer. All right. And then, here's the other arm. And then so basically, I'd move this over some. And then I'm not really gonna go into the muscles that much, so I'm just kind of drawing out, a leg, and I'll probably thicken that up in a minute. So that'll be the basic, getting the body out, and then like, okay, belly button will be around here. And if I wanted to add in, you know, and it's just basically getting a rough sketch down. And you don't have to be exact. It's just I also do this whenever I'm trying to get like something down. Like if I have an idea, I'll just scribble basically until I get, oh, I like that, and then I'll go from that scribble, and um, and from the scribble, I'll put like add another layer, and then um, lower this layer, and then go over that one, and so on and so forth until I get to the finished drawing. But let me go ahead and get the basic shape and everything down that I want. And then for the hand, for right now, I would just put like a triangle. And basically, with hands, what I do is, let me go to another layer. Well, I'll do that in her video. But with hands, I basically have the, the triangle is what I'll start with if his hand is going to be like a side view of the hands. If it's going to be like a front view or a back view, I would do, depending on which view, just basically something like that. But normally, at an angle. So I'm like, this is where the pinky is, and if it's the other way, just so you know um, where exactly that is. So I'll have that hand right there um, being turned sideways, and then this hand I'll say is kind of facing out, but at an angle, so like that. But the thumb will be out, so it would be more like this. And that's another thing I do sometimes is that the big two muscle groups in your hand. Just I was just draw those out, and then that basically gives me a guide kind of. So I'm like, I know the thumb goes out here, but I'll probably have this, a closed hand. So something like that, and basically, the thumb will be out here on this one too. So I'm gonna block that in. And right now it's still just a sketch phase because I don't have clothes or anything on this drawing. But this is basically just saying, if you just want to get started, um, once you can get here, like basically having your proportions set up right, or basically the outline is what I would say. And this is like if you just want to do something basic, get the basic outline down, and then just basically do like this and start working from that, which is what I'm doing now. Is I will have that, and this is still all in just one layer, because this is all still just my sketch. And the reason I do it so much is like if I don't have an idea for what kind of clothes he's going to be wearing, I'll just draw his body in and things, and then I'll go from there and add what kind of shirt he got, and then I might go through and add like a shirt or something, and basically just keep going from there, and I just keep building on it what I got, and that's normally if I don't have an idea. But if I do have an idea, it's pretty much the same principle. Like if I'm like I want him to be doing this, that, or the other, I'll set it up that way and then begin drawing from there. And also something to note about when you're drawing digital, which is I don't know if it's going to be if it's the same for everybody or if it was just me. When I first started, which I haven't been drawing digital that long, but starting off, I would sometimes like if I zoomed in just to have the whole page filled up, I would end up doing something like this. If I wanted to draw a whole body on there, I would start off all big like this because I zoomed in, and then when I zoomed out, you know, it's not enough space to finish, or I would draw so big that you know the picture that I wanted to put on the canvas wouldn't fit, and then I'd have to go through either resizing by um, doing a selection, or doing a selection and then just resizing the selection, or by increasing the canvas size. Um, and you don't really want to have to do that every time unless you want to. It's not really hurting anything. But basically, this is how I will get started on a drawing, and flesh it out from here. Just do a lot of sketches, getting down placement and things. And the more sketches you do, the easier it'll be to get to that final project quicker. And that's basically all I'm trying to say is just start off like this, and then in the next one I'll go over you know tightening it up, to finish a drawing. I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope you learned a little bit, which I didn't really teach you much except just get into it, drawing. And this will also help you if you're doing it on pencil and paper. You can also do this, and it will help you out when you're getting started. Just do a couple of like sketches daily, like loose sketches like this, just getting ideas down, and then go over them, like do it with pen. I mean, do it with pencil, and then go over it in like pen or something like that, just to tighten it up, and that'll help you be able to get it down a lot quicker too. Um, but yeah, I'll go over this some more and do a little bit more with this. But this is basically how I get started. If I'm just trying to practice some, touch up, get myself back back on track. But yeah, just get started and see what you can do.